What are prefix back formations? Imagine a word that looks like it was built by adding something at the start, but then someone later takes that part away and makes a new word. That's what a prefix back formation is all about. It's a way language changes by mistake or creativity. Usually, words grow by adding prefixes at the beginning, like un in unhappy or dis in dislike. But sometimes, people see a word and think it was made by adding a prefix to a base word. Then they remove that prefix to create a new word. For example, think of the word dishearten. Some might believe it was made by adding dis to hearten. If hearten was not originally used, people might later decide to create it by removing dis from dishearten. So, hearten becomes a new word, even though it was originally part of dishearten. This process is called a prefix back formation. It's like working backwards to find the root word by cutting off what looks like a prefix. Back formation usually involves removing suffixes, like from worker to get work, but it can also involve removing prefixes. When it involves removing a prefix, it's called a prefix back formation. These kinds of word changes are less common than suffix back formations, but they still happen. They show how people sometimes misunderstand how words are made and then create new words by mistake. In the world of language, affixes are small parts added to words to change their meaning. A prefix is one that goes at the start, like un or miss. When a person sees a word like dislike, they might think it was made by adding dis to like. But sometimes, people see a word like dishearten and think it was made by adding dis to hearten. If hearten was not used before, it might be created later by removing dis from dishearten. This process shows how language is always changing and how speakers sometimes reinterpret words. Prefix back formations help us see how new words can be created by mistake or by clever thinking. They are part of the bigger picture of how words evolve and how language users shape the words they use every day. For example, the word edit was formed by removing the suffix or from editor. If a prefix back formation existed, it would mean taking a word like dislike and removing the dis to find the original word. Although less common, this process highlights how language can be flexible and playful. Knowing about prefix back formations helps us understand how new words appear and how language adapts over time. It is a fascinating part of how words are built, broken down, and reassembled in ways that sometimes surprise us. It reminds us that language is a living thing, constantly changing and growing through the way people use and think about words.